Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is your review for Married to Medicine, Season 11, Episode 15, Lady Toya and her royal court. This is our season finale because next week we'll be getting the reunion, part 1. I don't know how many parts it's going to be. Probably 3 more than likely. And it'll probably only need to be 1.5 parts. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Lady Danbury, she rewinds the season for us in true Bridgerton fashion. Toya, she has her event planners over. They're going to talk about the theme, budget. She wants to stay under 25K. We talk about the guest list. Toya wants to bring everyone together. Greg and T have not RSVP'd, so there's that. Quad and King, they have RSVP'd. The planner asked about security. Do we need security? Absolutely. Absolutely. We're definitely going to need that. Then we see Greg and T. They're out for lunch. Greg says that he's been hurt by the group as of late. T asks about the party. Are we going? What are we doing here? She has reservations because she also had a side conversation with Toya. And Toya was questioning whether or not, she wanted to be a part of the group still. It was that. When she and I forgot who else was there, but we were already privy to that. She says she ain't gonna beg. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. She feels iced out because of what Greg has decided to do. No, nobody's icing you out. You're really kind of icing yourself out because they're giving you an option to say, no, I can be around Quad. Matter of fact, let's she and I have a side conversation in private and come to a common ground so that we can both work here. I can see to it that you only around Greg when I'm there. We can all coexist. They should be able to. They really should. There is a way for this to work, but they're not willing to do the work. Nobody, I don't think that Greg nor Quad is in a place where they want to be around one another and coexist. It's just not there. They're just not there in their growth. And that's okay. That's okay. But T, on the other hand, she could very well still mix and mingle with the group and not be worrying about what Quad and Greg got going on. Get your bag, T. But you finna miss out. You finna miss out because you worry about what Greg over there doing. And the two of them, they're feeling really unappreciated. You're taking their love for granted, baby. And they don't know how much more they can take from you. A little cherished lyric for the girlies that remember. They're taking a step back. Okay. Anyway, Toya, she checks in on her parties. The ladies, they delivered. They did exactly what she wanted. She's home trying on wigs. Eugene brings up a great point. He and we here. I see him. He sees me. We see each other. Because this whole theme, it always comes across very costumey for me because we weren't there. Yeah, we weren't there. Not us. We weren't around for all of that. So when we be putting it on, it looks very costumey. I don't know what that's about. I don't know why it feels that way for me, but it always feels very costumey. It comes across like y'all are all in costume. It doesn't come across authentic at all. It feels like cosplay. And I know essentially that's what it is, but it's like when it comes to a theme, like a 70s theme, there's a way to not make that costumey, and it comes across fashion. It comes across time period. It comes across period piece. And so that's what we want. That's what we want. We don't want costume. We don't ever want costume. Just because it's themed does not mean go buy a costume. Put you some pieces together, some authentic pieces that's going to give me what I need. But we weren't there. We weren't there. So I'm gonna need for her to realize that that the blacks, girl, no. but okay. Okay. You know, he's telling her, this was, you know, Bridgerton was not based on true events. We was the help, girl. We wasn't wearing none of this. There was some free people, girl. Okay, Toya. Okay, girl. But this is make believe. This is make believe. I'm gonna need you to realize that they talk about the guest list. Of course, Greg and T, about them coming, not coming. They don't know. Toya, she talked to T, and T still got to see what her husband says. So there's that. Quad and King, they're getting ready for the party. King doesn't understand. You know, I don't understand about why he filing charges in the first place. Like I don't get that. I feel like this was something that we could have talked about as men. I didn't think it was that deep for you to be running to the police, but okay, you know, like we two black men. Like, why would you do that? Why would you even play like that? Toya has decided to stagger their arrival times, so they won't run into each other anyway. We at the party. Guests are arriving. Simone's dress was given quinceañera. She dropped the ball per usual. Greg and T, you know, we come cause she introduces everybody. But Greg and T, they get there first. The lady, she comes out passing out the true report, and I'm assuming this is written by T, because she says she came to bring the tea. And it's, you know, a little Bridgerton burn book, if you will. Simone and Jackie, it was them needing their reading glasses for me. Trying to see, listen, it was the fine print. T, like I said, she's responsible for the true report. She was very proud of herself. The guys, they talk about Greg and these charges. He says, listen, y'all say let the group handle it, so I'm going to let the group handle it. Okay, whatever. So I guess that means he's not going to go forward with pressing charges. He's had time to process. He says, I absorb some, you know, my responsibility in some of this to some degree. Curtis, he informs the group, listen, we're going to have a conversation as men. We're going to facilitate this. You know, we'll have it in the near future. Simone, hold on. Let me see, because I feel like I skipped something. Oh, Contessa. She over there asking T, so do you guys plan on staying? You know they can't stay. You know they got an hour. You know they got a time slot here. They have to be out in a little bit. I'll be trying to get them to stay a little bit longer and butt the system a little bit. See, you trying to be messy and try to create some type of crossing paths. No, girl. And you know, over there with Simone, she has to make sure that she tells Toya what's going on. Of Contessa over there trying to get T and them to stay. Toya say, no, as much as I would like for them to stay, absolutely not. We're not doing that. Quad and King and Heavenly them they're on their way. Toya goes over there. She approaches the situation with ease, you know, but it's still a tough pill to swallow. But hey, it is what it is. They decide that they're gonna, you know, bow out gracefully, and you know they're gonna take a step back from the group. It is what it is. Heavenly and Damon, they arrive, and the Lunsfords, they arrive. I mean, not arrive. They leave. They leave while Heavenly and Damon are coming in. The couples are introduced. You know, Quad and King. They feeling good, looking good when they coming in, and they feel like Toya has been supportive. So you know they're gonna show up and support her. We know Phaedra wasn't coming. I don't know why they keep running over there to Phaedra house trying to get her to show up to stuff. She not coming. This time it was Contessa and them over there begging. She don't like y'all. She's not coming. She's not interested. What part of that don't y'all get? I don't know it's lost on them, I guess. I don't know. Simone talking about so why have we been dumped as a group? Because Phaedra's contention is really with Heavenly. And they're like, so, well, Simone's thing is, so why did we get dumped as a group? Because y'all wanted, all y'all. It's all y'all. It's not just Heavenly, it's all y'all. But it's a no. Toya and Eugene, they greet their guests. You know, they give us their backstory, beautiful love story. I'm happy for them celebrating 16 years We love to see it. We really do. Where was I? Oh, the men. They talk again. Curtis feels, you know, because Damon was late. So he feels Damon and King in on the fact that Greg was here. He's willing to have a conversation. King says, again, I never had an issue with him. It was just about the disrespect. I wasn't tolerating the disrespect. But I'm open to have a conversation. The ladies, they're gathering. Simone, she speaks for Greg. So Greg says he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed. Do you think that there's a world where you guys can coexist? And Quad says, I'm not interested. Toya says, we should pray for forgiveness. Quad says, I can forgive here, but I'm not interested. She says, I'm not finna pretend. I'm not finna put myself in a cumbersome situation. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. Toya, she feels like she's been asked to choose. Quad says, I'm not asking you to choose. I'm asking you to listen. Put yourself in my shoes and you do the right thing. Do what you do. Toya says, well, everybody makes mistakes, including King. Well, what mistakes has King made? Well, he bit the bait. Simone, be quiet. Be quiet, Simone, please. Heavenly, she pipe up because she done had a little bit. She been just sipping hard on that drink. She pipe up. If you allow a man to disrespect your wife, you a fucking bitch. Go ahead then, girl. No, she just said it out of nowhere. It was just basically like, you a fucking bitch. Carry on. The conversation really goes nowhere. They got to start this little dance that they done, you know, they learn choreography for it, so they got to get it going. Quad and King, listen, let's just do what we do. You know, let's just bend it over. Let's just do what we do because we don't know the moves. It's quite hilarious. They end on a high note though. They end the season on a high note. That's really where we what is happening here? What is happening here? Anyway, this little MacBook. You get to scrolling and touching on anything, it's gonna open up some. It's like what was y'all didn't see it, but I was confused. I'm just trying to find my daggone note. Good thing I was done. That was the end of it though. Until the reunion, like I said, we'll be back for the reunion. Looking forward to it. I don't really know how. Well, I already know, and I'm gonna reserve my thoughts for the reunion when we get to the reunion. We're not even gonna talk about it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.